Hey everybody, it's JWittz here with your Pokemon trading card game card of the day, and today's card is a modified legal Heart Gold Soul Silver On card. Now that is how I would normally do my Mondays through Wednesdays, however, for at least the next few weeks, I'm going to be tackling cards from a soon to be released set, Emerging Powers, which means that these cards aren't even out in packs yet, but they soon will be and are worth talking about. After all, now that Worlds is coming up, we're kind of locked in the same format that we've already been talking about, and I figure there's no point really talking about Worlds at this point until it actually happens. And then after that, we start with a new season and a new set, Emerging Powers, which is going to be legal in the upcoming Battle Roads. So let's start with a card that's been hyped for a little bit, Beartic. Now at 130 HP for a Stage 1, he's got extremely high health, and that's really good. He's also water, which is a great type to be in this format, considering that both Reshiram and Donphan have weakness to water. However, well, we'll get to why I don't think that he's as good as everybody's hyping. His attack, Sheer Cold, does 50 damage for a water and a double colorless, and it simply states the defending Pokemon cannot attack during your opponent's next turn. Now, at first glance, this seems unstoppable. If you can't attack, then what can you do? Well, there are three ways around this attack. The first is evolving out of the effect, the second is retreating out of the effect, and the third is using a card like Switch to bring up a new Pokemon. Either of those three things will get you out of this effect. Now, for some decks, let's say like a Magnezone with Emboar, this attack could provide to be a huge problem for you. All your Pokemon have huge retreat costs, and usually only run one Switch, so once you're out of Switch, or if you can't hit it, you're pretty much stuck with Beartic attacks over and over again. However, as the format has shifted, there are Pokemon with a lot lighter retreat cost. We're looking at 0 retreat cost with Yamega Prime. Now, as I said earlier, there are like 12 or 13 decks in the top 16 of the North America National Championships, which all ran Yamega Prime. It's going to be huge. It's going to be especially huge with cards like Pokemon Catcher, and unfortunately that means that Beartic isn't nearly as useful as he was when we were first speculating about him. Yeah, you can lock some heavier decks out, but if something runs Yamega, you can just retreat to another Yamega, and you're instantly out of the Sheer Cold effect. Now, his other attack, Icicle Crush, for 4 energy, does 80 damage, which is not very good for 4 energy. Yeah, being a water type means that you could one-shot some important Pokemon, but at 4 energy, it's really hard to set him up quickly. Now, decks that will use him will try and probably use cards like Feraligatr Prime to attach all the water energy that you want, but combined with a Stage 2 and a Stage 1, it's hard to get everything set up without built-in draw, and once you do, it's really hard for me to see if Beartic's really worth it. He's got 3 retreat cost, and while he has a weakness, that doesn't really matter, which is a good thing. He's a great type, he's got great HP, he doesn't really hit very efficiently. Now, had we not been in a format where Yamega Prime was huge all of a sudden, I would say that Beartic's a lot better and probably a really good metagame counter. Unfortunately, things have changed, and Beartic really is not that good anymore. As far as playability goes, I give Beartic a 5 out of 10. Now, this would be better earlier, as I said, but looking at the format, he's only good against a few choice decks, and the ones that run low retreat Pokemon, like Yamega Prime, really won't be stopped by a couple of Sheer Colds dealing only 50 damage. As far as artwork goes, it's kind of hard to tell because we haven't seen the card in full holographic yet, but as far as this one looks so far, I give it a 7 out of 10. I think Beartic's a pretty solid Pokemon, he looks nice and angry in the picture, and I'm sure he'll look even better holographic. Hope you guys enjoyed this card of the day, and tomorrow, tune in for another card from Emerging Powers. Peace!
You want the best tricks? I suggest you profit. You want a mess spread? I suggest you drop it.
Once we started rolling, you know you can't stop it. Let's go and get some lessons from JWittz and Profit. Yeah!